It's 9:46 p.m. You'll notice right away, this looks like any other ride aboard the light rail. People are doing what they do these days, keeping to themselves, scrolling on their phones as they ride along. The man accused in the killing, DeCarlos Brown, is in the red hoodies on the right side of your screen. He appears to be maybe a little emotional, perhaps a little agitated, but nothing disruptive. There's nothing that gets anyone's attention. About 30 seconds later, Iryna Zarutska boards. She's wearing a hat and a t-shirt from a pizzeria, and she sits in the row in front of Brown. She has earbuds in and is looking at her phone. She too's just minding her own business. They ride along for around 4 minutes with nothing unusual happening. Then around 9:50 p.m., Brown reaches into a pocket. We've zoomed in on it here. He pulls out a pocket knife. No one notices a thing. Seconds later, he would stand up, and from behind, unprovoked as we stop the video, he would stab the young woman several times. She had no chance to defend herself. The attack was over in seconds, and when it was over, Brown walked through the train attempting to get off. Few passengers, if any, at first realized what had happened, until they noticed drops of blood on the floor. 90 seconds after the attack, a bystander rushes down to begin lending aid to Zarutska. She would die from her injuries. 30 seconds later, 9:52 p.m., 6 minutes into the video, Brown leaves the light rail. The video here shows us just how quickly things happened and how difficult it would have been to prevent once he got on the train. And that is an important part to all of this. From what we've been told, Brown never should have been on the train. Authorities tell WBTV he did not buy a ticket. CAT says it is working on ways to keep fare skippers off mass transit.
Gossipers, you saw that video there. How disturbing, so sad. It's like nowadays you don't know where you're safe. You can be in your home, a car drives through, kill you. Public transportation, it can kill you. Just, it's like you don't feel safe anymore walking around in this world that we live in. And now this is in the United States of America. That's where I live. This is where it took place. And it's like you don't know when or if you go out, if you'll come back home. And some people might listen and go, oh my God, over exaggerate. No, anyone who goes out and does not come back home, and it turns out they were unalived. No one imagined going out and not coming back home. And to see situations like this, playing out, and now it's like they want to bring politics, race in it, and comparing it to George Floyd, and that this was not getting any attention, and George Floyd got all this attention with the Black Lives Matter. And it's like not every situation makes the headline. And the reason for this one, I think, is because she ran away, or she got out of the Ukraine, which is going through a war with Russia as we speak. So to see that she got out of a war country to come here to start a new life, to start over, and then this happens to her, and then from a man who's been convicted so many times, so many different felonies and imprisonment, and he's allowed to walk the streets. Now, people are saying he's mentally unstable, everything. That even his own mother is saying they shouldn't have let him out. And this is what he came out to do. And then, like I said, people put in politics and race again to it. It's like, these are human beings. Look how beautiful she is. And to see that this is the way she was taken out from this country, taken out, her life taken away, coming from a country that's going through war. I mean, it's just sad. It is sad. It is sad. This world is sad. Living in a country like the USA, and I say like USA, England, Canada, which these countries are more diverse. So you're seeing a lot more mixture. It's not like if you go to Japan and it's mostly Asian, you go to Russia, it's mostly white people. Yes, say you go to Jamaica, it's mostly black people. No, these countries, England, America, Canada, it's a melting pot of different nationalities, races in the country. And it's gotten to the point where, as a black person living in America, it's sad to say, when you see the news and before they show who the suspect is, you're like, please don't let that person be black. Because we know what it's like in America being black. And just to see that the stereotypes, no matter what, will always stick with the black race. Because people see that now, and instead of saying that's a man with mental issues and he was, have so many felonies, convictions put away, and now he's released and look what he did. Because I even saw a comment from people from India, and I heard that people from India, they're the most racist people in the world when it comes to black people. They were even commenting. One of them said something about you need to keep monkeys away from people, referring to black people. And it's just sad. I have no idea. I'm a black person. My family is a black person. What have I done to anyone for them to lump us all together? I even said that this is white America feels what black people are feeling. And the only reason why I said that because I was upset, and I was saying it like, people were complaining, why isn't this being talked about? Why isn't anyone talking about her case? Bet you if it was the other way around, it's a black person and a white person did it. Oh my God. And it's like, now you know what it feels like when black people wants to be seen, especially those who are put in situation where the crime or whatever is not a fault of theirs, and they were wrongfully convicted or wrongfully detained for crimes they didn't do, and they're looked at as the first suspect because they're black. Now, I can't go through what racism is like in America because I haven't been through it. I did have an experience when I was younger at 14, but other than that, I cannot speak on it. I can only speak by what is said on social media and in the news. And when it comes to social media and in the news, the US dislikes black people. The country that black slaves helped to build, the US does not like us at all. And the thing is, everything is generalized. Every stereotype is generalized when it comes to black people. And the sad thing is, even some of our own black people live in those stereotypes that people put on black people. And it's not all of us. That's what I don't get. They still think that every black person in America is wicked. That's why when I heard, when they were saying the Latin people and Trump was like, these Mexicans, this and that. And I hear black people's like, we get it all the time. Look at Asian people. They got a bill passed for them to stop the hate when COVID was going around and their people were getting beat up. And I hear black people like, we've been in this country for how many years? 100 years, and we don't get that protection, but Asian people do. And I'm looking into it. I'm like, that's not true. They would never just give Asian people that protection. And when black people have been calling it out for so many years and nothing. And it's like, what is going on? Why are black people the most hated people in the world? Even like I said with India, some of their Indians are as dark as day. And guess what? In their own country, they have prejudices, colorism in their own country against their own people. But guess what? I think they come to countries like America and England, and because the way they see Americans treat their black population, they too think they can come into this country as dark as they can be and think they're better than black people. Stuff like that pisses me off. But back to this story. Now here's this young lady working, as I said, coming from a war-torn country to get our freedom, and this is how our life ended. It's just sad. So now it's been reported that the Justice Department filed a criminal charge on Tuesday against the man accused of fatally stabbing a 23-year-old Ukrainian woman on a light rail train in Charlotte, North Carolina last month. The case has captured widespread national attention since grisly video of the attack was released. The man, DeCarlos Brown Jr., 34, was charged with one count of committing an act causing death on a mass transportation system. According to the Justice Department, if convicted in the death of Iryna Zarutska, a refugee from Ukraine, he could face the federal death penalty, as he should. And you see that young lady, a refugee from Ukraine that's now in war with Russia, and to come to this country to meet her death this way, it's just sad. It is sad. I am, there's a lot of stories that you can do where you're at a loss for words. And this is one of them because, like I said, even though they want to make it political and racist, this can happen to anyone. Anyone could have been in her position. And, they're also talking about mental health because they were like he was diagnosed with, I think they said, was it schizophrenia or, oh my gosh, it's just hard. It's just hard. And to know that she came here with her family working. And again, I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but it's just unbelievable, to how you have to live. And, the family spokesperson, they let out a statement and it says Iryna came here to find peace and safety. And instead, her life was stolen from her in the most horrific way, a family spokesperson said in the statement. Wow. And they're saying Brown has a criminal history spanning over a decade, including felony, breaking and entering, and a robbery with a dangerous weapon, for which he served a 5-year prison sentence according to court records. They're saying they will be seeking the maximum penalty for this unforgivable act of violence, which of course is the death penalty. I'm looking at the article while I'm reading it to you, and to see that it was so brutal she could not survive it. I think they said he stabbed her 3 times around the neck. And you see in that video, you see the trail of blood. And even with that going on, it's like, Anyways, gossipers, what are your thoughts on this story? Do you feel safe? Do you feel safe? Do you feel safe? I'm going to close this out with the President Donald Trump. I guess, just so you can hear what he has to say.
For far too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people, really very, very innocent people. In every place, they control radical left judges, politicians, and activists, and they've adopted a policy of catch and release for thugs and killers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. And here's a picture of it. This is the picture of it. And this is a picture of the woman, a beautiful young girl that never had problems in life, with a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead. She was slaughtered by a deranged monster who was roaming free after 14 prior arrests. We cannot allow a depraved criminal element of violent repeat offenders to continue spreading destruction and death throughout our country. We have to respond with force and strength. We have to be vicious just like they are. It's the only thing they understand. 24 of the top 25 most dangerous cities in America are run by Democrat mayors. 50 people were murdered in Chicago in recent weeks, with hundreds being shot. And it's time to stop this madness. The people of our country need to insist on protection, safety, law, and order. We have proven that it can be done because we did it right here in D.C., in District of Columbia. The capital of America was a bloodthirsty, horrible, dangerous place, one of the worst. And now it's a crime-free city, and we're going to keep it that way. It can be done. It can happen fast. All we want is, please, Mr. President, we need help. Chicago needs help. Other cities need help. We'll do what has to be done because we're going to make America safe again, and that includes our big cities. We're going to make those cities safe. Thank you.